Keith. I'm on my annual January camping trip at Illini State Park in Marseille, Illinois. I got my tent set up and I am all bundled up for the night. This year I'm going to add these heat reflective socks, very sparkly. My mom loves buying me warm socks, so I'm going to try them tonight. If they make any difference, I'll let you know in the morning. Good morning. Got down to about 7 degrees last night, according to the weather service. I stayed toasty warm. Those reflective socks, I think, made a difference, but it's hard to know what kept me warm since I'm so bundled up. I tried to keep my water from freezing by putting it in a bubble wrap envelope. We'll see if that worked. I'm thawing out my water bottles over a candle because they definitely froze. One thing new this year, I put an emergency blanket over the tent underneath the fly just to see if it would hold in a little bit of heat. I'm not sure if that worked, but one thing it did do is it prevented condensation from forming on the top of the tent. I tend to travel light and bring only the gear that I need, and that has resulted a few times of me shivering through the night. But today I knew it was going to be pretty cold, so I brought redundancy upon redundancy. What a beautiful morning. So what do you think? Should we take our annual walk to the lock? Here's the view from the campsite on the river. There's the dam. And we're heading down that channel to the lock. But we're going to take the path. I'm told that the Illinois River was formed when a giant glacial lake, much bigger than Lake Michigan, suddenly overtopped a glacial ridge and washed through this area. You can see the stone cut away. There's bluffs, and just downstream is Starved Rock, also carved by that flood. I enjoy Illini State Park. It's got two nice campgrounds. One of them stays open year-round. You can register for a campsite while you're here, or in the summertime, you can go to reserveamerica.com. Wintertime is first come, first serve. It's got a nice hiking trail along the river. Been coming here for many years. My first winter trip, I joined the Yeti winter camping group. Unfortunately, when I got here, I was the only one. Apparently they canceled the trip because it wasn't cold enough, but it was good practice. So I met them here a number of years, but I believe that group has dissolved. So this year I'm here by myself, but that's okay. As Mr. Rogers said, solitude isn't loneliness, and it doesn't have to be a lonely kind of thing. Plus I got you guys here. This state park has a lot of hidden treasures. I've come here many years and I don't believe I've ever been to this picnic shelter, but from the looks of it, local kids know where it is. It's up on a hill overlooking the abandoned playground. Has two fireplaces in the center. Very nice. I know I've got a video on the state park already. That's not very popular, but who knows? This one might take off. We got a video on the Miami-Erie Canal in Ohio. Sat quietly for a long time, and suddenly a viewer posted it to a website of people interested in canals and rivers. And now, over the last couple months, it's been my most viewed video. So we'll hope this one takes off too. I don't know if you can hear this, but this little creek, the ice is crackling. Look at the water go the other direction. This barge looks like it's drawing 9 feet deep into the water, and it's pushing a lot of water out of its way. Maybe that's coal in there. Barges are a very efficient way to move heavy stuff. That is one big propeller. Back when things were normal, the kids and I came camping here, did a little fishing here at this little day use park. My daughter liked fishing from a little seat over there. My son enjoyed napping on this tree. Looks a little different now. We can see that the barge that we saw go by has entered the lock. They're doing something. They may have to detach the tug to get the barge through, since the lock is only so big. Yep, I was right. They've got to pull the tug out so they can close the doors, and they'll open the other side. They've got a big cable to pull these barges through, and then the tug will join them and hitch back up and head back downriver. I'm going to try the other side, see if we can get a better view of it coming out. Here's the downstream gate, closed up. And you can see the barge. It looks like they're opening up this gate a little bit. I can hear the water starting to let it flow out to lower the barge so they can pull it out this side. Those seagulls must find some good eats when they open up that gate. All that water gets stirred up. Picking something out of the water. They are opening the gates. You can see the barge. When the gates are open, the barge come out. The water has calmed down since they opened the gate. Seagulls have flown off. They just blew the horn, so they should be detaching the barge from the wall and pulling it out. The barge is slowly making its way out, squeaking along that wall, rubbing up against the gate. This process takes a long time. Here we can get a better look at what's in the barge. It's black. I'm guessing it's coal.
Got one guy on the barge, one guy on the shore, making sure it comes out right. All right, they're closing the gates. Now that the barge is clear, hasn't stopped yet, but I'm sure they got to stop it slowly. I'm sure it's pretty heavy. But to close the gates, bring the tug in. Well, they got to fill up the lock first, then bring the tug in. Then drop the water level and let the tug out to reattach. Not sure what's in these barges. That doesn't look like coal. I've seen lots of chemicals go up and down. Benzene, particularly. I don't know, what's this say? It just says danger or warning. Well, they use these locks because the river flowing naturally would have deep spots and shallow spots, and they wouldn't be able to move much cargo. So the locks and dams create a series of pools, and so the Illinois River has become just a series of lakes, all slightly different elevation, and they can move these big barges up and down because it's guaranteed to be deep enough all the way. They're bringing back the cable or weight or however they move the barge. The gates are closed. Must be refilling it. Let's go check the other side, see how it's doing. You can see the gate's closed upstream. The tug is waiting. They're filling up the lock. It is about half full. Once it gets same level as the river, they open the gate and let the tug in. Seagulls have moved over here. Must be yummy stuff anytime the water gets stirred up. All right, water level has reached the same height, so they're opening up the gates. Gates are open. They gave the all clear sign. Hear the engines revving at the tug. Guys are untying it. Closing the gates. They'll tie off the tug. It's a nice little shelter here. Probably a product of a bygone time when there were less fences and invasive species hadn't grown up to clog the view. But I can imagine many years ago sitting here and staring down the Illinois River. That was about a 3-mile hike to get here. What do you think? You gonna walk back with me? Or are you gonna call an Uber? No judgment. You do you. I think I will take a more direct route back though. There's a number of areas here in Illini State Park that are closed off or abandoned. The state just must not have the money to maintain them. Nice big oak trees. On my walk back, I'd see the next barge waiting its turn. Well, I made it back from the lock, started the fire, cooking my dinner. I'm a big fan of cooking things on sticks, no dishes. Gonna enjoy a nice fire and climb into the tent again.
Tonight, the low is supposed to be 27. We're at 28 now, so it should be a warm night. I'll see you in the morning.
Got a little snow last night. The big stuff's supposed to come down tomorrow. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little camp out. And I'll see you on our next adventure.